Came in first, I had 31 favourites, so I'm sure you'll all appreciate it. I'm going to talk all 31. But really do take your time, come back when the place is empty and quiet, and give yourself the time just to absorb these beautiful moments. So, there was one particular piece that actually called to me. It was magnetic, I found it magnetic. And it appealed to so many of my senses. It's a very playful piece, it's beautifully executed. It's of Bray, it's of this place. And I had a very strong physical reaction that I wanted to go up and I'm going to give it up. Yeah. I wanted to go up and open it. But a part of me didn't want to open it. And I wondered, what is that? Is it the sort of the gold leaf that has echoes of religious iconography and all that, what, morality that holds? There was a sense of kind of expectation and excitement. There's a smell of candy floss, an evocation of merry-go-round music. And I'm sure you all know which one I'm talking about. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of work, and I'd like to congratulate Laurence O Toole. Come on over.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted with that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for such a wonderful piece of work. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Thank you so much. Really, I'm delighted with that.
Surprise.
Thank you so much. I'm delighted with that. Thank you very much.
Laurence O Toole, winner of the Signal Open 2019. Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself?
My name is Laurence O Toole. I was bred and buttered here in Bray, County Wicklow, in 1968. I have been a painter all my life. I am self-taught, which basically means you had an interest in it as a child and just continued with that. You always painted. You dabbled, you did what you could to earn a living from it, to keep it going. I moved down the country, probably in the mid-noughties, and I spend most of my time between Bray and between where I am down in Carlow.
Your work is very, very distinctive, Laurence, the first thing I say, and I love the three pieces that were in the exhibition. You say you're self-taught. Do you think you're much of a filter for many different kind of influences, or is there somebody that you can look to and say, this is what I'm influenced by?
I think you are inevitably, we're all sponges. We absorb everything we see and do, and we process it in our own ways. What do I process? I suppose I process everything I have seen, every painter that I got a chance to look at when I was a child, be it Dali, be it the Constable, be it any of the modernists. You gravitate towards what you're driven by. I would be more driven by the realism of maybe Dali. That's not to say that I would be a surrealist, but I think sometimes when it comes to pieces which have narrative in them, a storyline, it's better to have a surrealist take on it. It'll allow you to tell the tale a little better.
Definitely, yeah. Just personally from looking at your work, and I know it's a silly thing to say that they're very visual, of course they are paintings, but the impressions I'm getting when I'm looking at them is that there are different influences coming in there that just aren't traditional painting. You're taking from a lot of different sources.
Yes, I would be. I'd be open to that. And I think inevitably that there's something about when somebody is self-taught, you have to find your own feet. And it's not something, this is a better way. There is no better way. People will crumble under being self-taught, and people will crumble under direction from art academies or studios. So there is no right way about it, but the one thing that I have found is that I have been driven by my own experiences and by experimentation. And that may be taking different elements of different painters, different ideas, different ways of doing it, and combining them all into what I suppose I believe would be my trademark.
Well, it's very evident in the work, which I believe is really strong. How did you feel on the night when you won?
Oh, it felt great. I felt nothing until I got the check, and then that was lovely. So, look, it's a great accolade to have, to have your work voted to be best in show by other artists, painters, academics. That's something. It makes you feel very good. It makes you feel you're on the right track. Indeed, yeah. I think there's something great about actually an exhibition like this, because you are being observed by your peers and other artists who are actually really exposing themselves in a way by putting their work in for a show like this. It's a very strong show. Your piece, Enjoy Yourself, is later than you think. It was very, very popular and a clear winner, I think, personally. Could you tell us a little bit more about it, a bit the background about it? This, I've had an interest in religious relics and icons and triptychs and diptychs, and these were made to protect the religious paintings. Initially, there'd be 2 doors on it, and they would close over, and you'd open the doors, and they would travel to different towns and cities, and the religious story was told. I developed this one out of a environmental concern, and it is that we have problems, we have issues with our environment and how we are maybe acknowledging it and at the same time ignoring it. It's convenient to ignore, it might be hip to acknowledge, but the two of them aren't necessarily meeting. So I thought of Bray. I constantly paint Bray. I'm from Bray, so I constantly paint it. I thought, what better metaphor to use than Bray, than what you know. And here we have the kiosk. And I always remember these. There was candy floss, there was toffee apples, there was sweets, and as a child, it is the mecca that you are drawn towards. So I use this as the symbol of the instant gratification that we want. That's what we want nowadays. We want the buzz, we want the giggle, we want the hype, we want the gratification, and that's what this is representing. But there is an oddness to it. There are no people here. There is just the image of gratification, and that's really what we're all being sold. There is no backbone to it. There's no real reality behind it. You move on from this hit, and then you want the next one, and then you want the next one. It's all quite hollow. So from here, this was called Enjoy Yourself. And then it will open up into this, which is Bray Beach again, but now the hour is late. It is the 11th hour, if you will, and there's a clock in the centre marking the time, but the clock is broken, the clock is destroyed. I first saw this clock in a museum in Hiroshima. I was doing an art residency there, and I went visiting a lot of places in Japan after it, and this clock was the first thing I saw entering that museum. And they found it after they dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. And it was twisted and gnarled and stopped and dead. And after I'd finished the whole museum and all the dreadful visions that it offered up, when I was leaving, on the wall was printed in many, many languages, please tell everybody what you've seen here today, so it never happens again. Now that clock never left this may be 4 years ago, and it never left me. And then this year I decided I was going to put this together as a piece, as a statement. And that's what it's become. Enjoy yourself now, because it's later than you think. And for me, I felt I achieved the poignancy I was looking for.
You know, it's a very, very strong statement. And it's interesting what you mentioned about the religious paintings that were actually protected behind those, as if they weren't for the public to enjoy.
That was it.
And I have to say, a lot of people have been coming in and asking, can we open these doors? And we've been telling them
That's
yes.
it.
So it's a lovely thing that you're opening your art, you're opening your statement. And again, as you say, it's lovely that you're really illustrating what you talk about as a self-thought artist, and that your influences are really strong in this piece. I mean, we were talking earlier about nostalgia, and something like the Bray Beach Prom, the outer picture you have there is something that really stands strong in my mind. It's like a summer that you remember all the time. Candy floss and things like that. Yeah. Really, really strong piece. I really, really love it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Your other 2 pieces were also shortlisted.
Yes, I was very lucky. I had
great.
3 pieces, and 3 pieces got shortlisted. So
Above your head, very handsome
above my
man.
head is a self-portrait. It is called The Charming Brute. It was last year. It was in my garden, and a few beers were had, and somebody suggested I would look a little softer if I had some daisies in my beard.
Great.
And never want to shy away, I got some daisies in my beard, and it softened out the whole look of somebody, because it changes that dynamic. You're no longer a stoic portrait. You are now a maybe more jovial, joking, quirky person. So it offers another side to it, I found. And the one below here is a memory I have, as we were saying with nostalgia, of Christmas.
Exactly.
And the USA biscuits. And always hidden in the house, because if you left a box out, the children of the house would eat the tin. They would eat the carpet. They would eat through the wardrobe to get to them.
Yeah.
So when we would find them, we would gently and carefully take that tape off. There was large sellotape, and houses, well, our house, we didn't have large sellotape. You might have small, skinny sellotape. So if that sellotape got damaged, we couldn't replace it. So we would take it off, we would take the top layer out, and we would work from the second layer. Each get a few biscuits. Put it all back together again, hide it away. And when on Christmas Day the biscuits were open, the top tray was perfect. And by the time we got to the bottom tray, who knew what happened? Who knew? So this was a piece of nostalgia. I used the actual old pound note and the 10 bob note to donate, to dictate where the period it was in. It was this was 1970s, probably mid 70s, mid range into late 70s, and that's how we were. That's how things were.
It's fantastic, really fantastic.
Thank you.
Once again, congratulations, Laurence.
Thank you very much.
Talk to you all day. You're such an interesting man, you really are.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations again, and
Thank you.
thanks for talking to us.
Really appreciate it. Thank you.